Hello, hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss some MCQs based on constitution making. Please pause after the question to guess the right answer. Election to the members of the Constituent Assembly was A. Purely direct election, and common people of various faiths participated with patriotic fervor as it was the first election in the history of India. Option B. It was an indirect election in which members were chosen by the Provincial Legislative Assemblies. Option C. No election at all. A British Cabinet Mission Committee chose the members of the Constituent Assembly. Option D. Members were handpicked by the Governor General of India at the time. Answer is B. The representatives of each community were to be elected by members of that community in the Provincial Legislative Assembly, and voting was to be by method of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Question number 2. The following are true about the Constitution of India. It determines allocation of power in society. It defines the relations between judiciary, executive and legislature. It puts limitations on the power of the government. Government can amend the constitution. A. 1, 3, 4 are true. Option B. Only 1 and 4 are true. Option C. 1, 2 and 3 are true. Option D. All the above are true. Answer is D. All the above are true. Question number 3. The Constituent Assembly was composed roughly along the lines suggested by the plan proposed by the Committee of the British Cabinet, known as the Cabinet Mission. It was headed by A. Simon Cripps, B. Clement Attlee, C. Lord Pethick-Lawrence, D. None of the above. Answer is C. Lord Pethick-Lawrence. Cabinet Mission was headed by Lord Pethick-Lawrence. Stafford Cripps and A.V. Alexander were other members of the Cabinet Mission. Question number 4. Why did Mountbatten, the last British Governor General of India, announce his plan of scrapping the Cabinet Mission plan? A. Muslim League demanded for a separate Constituent Assembly and Hindu-Muslim riots started. B. He was not happy with the outcome of the election in which Congress had won more seats than the Muslim League. C. He did not want India to get independence. His plan was to dissolve the Constituent Assembly by scrapping the Cabinet Mission plan. D. Muhammad Ali Jinnah suggested him to scrap the Cabinet Mission plan so that the elections may be deemed invalid. Answer is A. Elections for the 296 seats assigned to the British Indian provinces were completed by July-August 1946. Congress won 208 seats and Muslim League won 73 seats. After this election, the Muslim League refused to cooperate with the Congress. The political situation got worse and Hindu-Muslim riots started. The Muslim League demanded for a separate Constituent Assembly for Muslims in India. On June 3, 1947, Lord Mountbatten, the last British Governor General of India, announced his plan of scrapping the Cabinet Mission plan, and this later culminated in Indian Independence Act and separate nations India and Pakistan. Question number 5. The Indian Independence Act was passed on A. August 15, 1947, B. August 14, 1947, C. July 18, 1947, D. January 26, 1947. Answer is C. July 18, 1947. Earlier it was declared that India will get its independence in June 1948, but the Hindu-Muslim riots led to an early independence on August 15, 1947. Question number 6. Which of the following is not a part of the summary of objectives resolution moved by Nehru? A. India is an independent sovereign republic. B. All powers and authority of sovereign and independent India and its constitution shall flow from the people. C. The minorities, backward and tribal areas, depressed and other backward classes shall be provided adequate safeguards. D. To defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Answer is D. to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Before the framing of the Constitution started, an objectives resolution, that is, the resolution that defined the aims of the Assembly, was moved by Nehru in 1946. This resolution enshrined the aspirations and values behind the Constitution making. Question number 7. Who was the first President of the Constituent Assembly? A. Rajendra Prasad, B. Dr. Sachchidananda Sinha, C. Jawaharlal Nehru, D. H.C. Mukherjee. Answer is B. Dr. Sachchidananda Sinha. Dr. Sachchidananda Sinha was the first President, that is, temporary chairman of the Assembly of the Constituent Assembly when it met on December 9, 1946. Dr. Rajendra Prasad then became the President of the Constituent Assembly and who later became the first President of India. Question number 8. Though the Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950, some provisions were given immediate effect on 26 November 1949. Name such provisions. A. Citizenship, currency, elections, voting age. B. Citizenship, elections, provisional parliament, Privy Purse. C. Citizenship, elections, provisional parliament, temporary and transitional provisions. D. Telecommunications, elections, provisional parliament. Answer is C. Citizenship, elections, provisional parliament, temporary and transitional provisions. Question number 9. The mind of the makers of the Constitution of India is reflected in which of the following? A. The Preamble. B. The Fundamental Rights. C. The Directive Principles of State Policy. D. The Fundamental Duties. Answer is A. The Preamble. Preamble enshrines the ideas and philosophy of the Constitution. The question number 10. The idea of Preamble was borrowed from A. Constitution of USA, B. Constitution of Canada, C. Constitution of Germany, D. Government of India Act 1935. Answer is A. Constitution of USA. Question number 11. Which of the following about the preamble of the Indian Constitution is not true? A. It is the introductory statement that sets out the guiding purpose and principles of the Constitution. B. It indicates the source from which the Constitution comes. C. It is enforceable by courts. D. It underlines the supremacy of the Indian people. Answer is C. It is enforceable by courts. The preamble of our Constitution is part of the Constitution, but it is not enforceable by courts. Question number 12. Which of the following words were added to the preamble through 42nd Constitution Amendment Act? A. Secular Socialist Fraternity. B. Secular Socialist Integrity. C. Liberty, Equality, Integrity. D. Socialist Secular Republic. Answer is B. The preamble of the Constitution has been amended only once so far through the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act, 1976. The words secular, socialist and integrity were added to the Constitution. Question number 13. Which of the following about the preamble is true? A. The word secular and the preamble can be removed by a constitutional amendment. B. Preamble can be amended any number of times. C. Preamble is not a part of the Constitution. D. The idea of preamble is borrowed from Canada. Answer is B. Preamble can be amended any number of times. Question number 14. Which of the following committees of Constituent Assembly are headed by Rajendra Prasad? A. Steering Committee, ad hoc Committee on National Flag. B. Credentials Committee, Finance and Staff Committee. C. Committee on Rules of Procedure, States Committee. D. House Committee, Steering Committee. Answer is A. Please go through the important committees of Constituent Assembly. They may be important for exams. Question number 15. The word democracy in the preamble indicates that India is A. Direct democracy, B. Indirect democracy, C. Representative presidential democracy, D. Monarchical democracy. Answer is B. Indirect democracy. What is indirect democracy? An indirect democracy is a type of democratic government in which voters choose delegates to create the laws of government on their behalf. It is also called as representative democracy. Question number 16. The idea of a Constituent Assembly for India was put forward for the first time by A. M.N. Roy, B. Gandhi, C. Jawaharlal Nehru, D. Motilal Nehru. Answer is A. M.N. Roy. Question number 17. August 15 was specifically chosen as the date of independence because A. It was on this day in 1930 that Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated following the resolution of the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress. B. It was on this day that Indian Independence Act came into force. C. It was on this day that people sang national anthem in the Constituent Assembly. D. It was on this day that national flag was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Answer is B. It was on this day that Indian Independence Act came into force. Question number 18. Which of the following information is or true? Indian National Congress rejected the August offer. Muslim League rejected the August offer. Indian National Congress accepted the August offer. Muslim League accepted the August offer. Option A, only 4 is true. Option B, only 1 and 4 are true. Option C, 1 and 2 are true. Option D, only 3 is true. Answer is C, 1 and 2 are true. The Indian National Congress rejected this offer at its meeting at Wardha in August 1940. It demanded complete freedom from colonial rule. Muslim League also rejected the offer, saying that nothing short of partitioning the country would be acceptable to them. Question number 19. The following information is true about the August offer of 1940. 1. Dominion status of India was the objective. 2. The Viceroy's Executive Council would be expanded to include for the first time more Indians than whites. 3. Defense, finance and home portfolios were to remain with the British. 4. Advisory War Council was to be established. Option A, only 1 is true. Option B, only 1 and 3 are true. Option C, 1 and 2 are true. Option D, all the above. Answer is D, all the above. Question number 20. What does the term Dominion status of India actually mean during the British rule? 1. That India is a sovereign country. 2. That India is a semi-autonomous state with allegiance to the British Crown. 3. All laws and statutes of India managed by its resident except for global relations, defense and communications. 4. That India will have its own head of state. Option A, only 1 is true. Option B, only 2 and 3 are true. Option C, 2, 3 and 4 are true. D, all the above. Answer is B, only 2 and 3 are true. Question number 21. The following information is true about Objectives Resolution. 1. On December 13, 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru moved the historic Objectives Resolution in the Assembly. 2. It laid down the fundamentals and philosophy of the constitutional structure. 3. Its modified version forms the preamble of the present constitution. 4. It was unanimously adopted by the Assembly on January 22, 1947. A. Only 1 is true. B. Only 1 and 4 are true. C. 1, 2 and 3 are true. D. All the above. Answer is D. Question number 22. Whenever the Constituent Assembly met as the legislative body, it was chaired by A. G.V. Mavalankar, B. Rajendra Prasad, C. Jawaharlal Nehru, D. Sachchidananda Sinha. Answer is A. G.V. Mavalankar. The Constituent Assembly performed two separate functions, that is, making of a constitution for free India and enacting of ordinary laws for the country. These two tasks were performed on separate days. Whenever the Assembly met as the constituent body, it was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. But when it met as the legislative body, it was chaired by G.V. Mavalankar. These two functions continued till November 26, 1949. Question number 23. January 26 was specifically chosen as the date of commencement of the Constitution because A. It was on this day in 1930 that Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated. B. It was on this day in 1947 that the national flag was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. C. It was on this day in 1940 that the national anthem was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. D. It was on this day in 1946 that the Objectives Resolution was passed in the Constituent Assembly. Answer is A. It was on this day in 1930 that Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated. In addition to the making of the Constitution and enacting of ordinary laws, the Constituent Assembly also performed the following tasks. It ratified the India's membership of the Commonwealth in May 1949. It adopted the national flag on July 22, 1947. It adopted the national anthem on January 24, 1950. It adopted the national song on January 24, 1950. It elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first President of India on January 24, 1950. Question number 24. Who is the chairman of the special committee to examine the draft constitution? A. Jawaharlal Nehru, B. Rajendra Prasad, C. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, D. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Answer is A. Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was the chairman of the special committee to examine the draft constitution. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. There is a difference. Thank you for listening. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.